Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep. And guys, I really need to apologize. I'm so sorry for spoiling the My Hero Academia series because the balls deep prediction quirk is way too powerful. The latest chapter 282 of My Hero Academia just took the horror for the heroes to another level. A lot of the things we theorized in the earlier chapter reviews actually came into fruition and materialized in this chapter. I didn't want it to happen, and it saddens me to say this, but many of our dark theories predicting the fall of the heroes are coming true. Gran Torino last week and Aizawa sensei, why? Horikoshi, why are you playing with our hearts like this? By the way guys, we now have Deku merch available on our merch store. Click the link in the description and comment section below and grab yourself a shirt or a hoodie so you guys can be part of the Balls Deep squad just like all of these lovely people. Okay, straight off the bat, this chapter continues from where we left off in the last one, where Shigaraki is being subdued by Deku and Ryukyu. Just like Gran Torino did in the last chapter, Deku realizes that Shigi has become more agile, so he needs to make sure the man stays down, because if he moves, more than likely it won't be easy to catch him again. And let's not forget that Shigaraki still cannot use his decay quirk, as Aizawa with the help of Manual and Rocklock is still within the vicinity staring right at the new Demon Lord. On this point, I actually quickly want to mention, in the last chapter there was a moment where Aizawa's line of sight was blocked by Ryukyu for a few seconds, yet Shigaraki was still affected by Eraserhead's quirk. Now this might suggest that Aizawa's quirk has a lingering effect on it, meaning that after he's erased a quirk, there is a small period of time before it can be used again where he breaks the line of sight. But if that was the case, then blinking even for a second wouldn't be such a massive deal. I think what's going on here is that Aizawa doesn't need to see the person fully or even a majority of their body to erase their quirk. Or maybe Horikoshi just had a weird paneling angles and Aizawa could see Shigaraki perfectly fine. So coming back to the chapter, Deku holds down Shigi with his black whip. Our boy starts thinking about his sensei Gran Torino as he indicates that maybe there still might be a chance to save him. But before he can even finish his thoughts, he notices the quirk destroying bullet Shigi has pulled out. Deku quickly reacts and hits Shigi with a 100% Wyoming smash. Yeah boy, Deku actually went 100%. He ain't playing around. I guess seeing Gran Torino all smashed up like that triggered him, and Shigaraki probably even took all of that damage head on since he was being held down by Deku's black whip. But even then, somehow Shigaraki is still alive, which once again demonstrates the monstrous enhancement his body went through. We then see that Deku wasn't the only one who reacted, as Bakugo and Endeavor rushed towards the pinned down Shigaraki, and it seems as though the bullet that Shigaraki was holding is disintegrated by Bakugo's AP shot. But we know that Shigi has more than one bullet. Shigaraki, still blinded by Deku, decides to bite down on Deku's arm during his punch. Yes, the guy somehow manages to catch a punch with 100% one for all power flowing through it. I don't know how crazy that is, but this consequently breaks Shigaraki's teeth and jaws to some degree, with a lot of blood gushing out everywhere. But a cool thing to note is that this scene kind of reminds me and parallels Endeavor's fight with the high-end Nomu, where the Nomu catches a punch biting into Endeavor's arms. Now as Shigi digs his teeth further into Deku's arms, he starts to think about how he feels unstoppable and that his passion, dreams and general ideals are actually keeping him moving forward, even though in the last chapter he noted that his body was running out of steam. Horikoshi depicting Shigi's thoughts during these moments allows us to get a deeper idea about his character. In chapter 280, Shigi is told by Endeavor that without ideals, his destruction will never bring down the heroes. But this misconception about Shigaraki and the villains is the very thing that will cause the heroes to lose this battle. In reality, Shigaraki does in fact have ideals, probably even greater than the heroes. Usually not giving up on dreams and pushing forward because of passion and strong conviction is normally associated with the heroes in stories, the protagonists. A great example of this is One Piece, where Luffy's dream of being the pirate king and the passion he feels for his friends keeps him going on, even in the worst situations, like when he was poisoned by Crocodile's hook or many other cases. But basically, Shigaraki is the hero for his own cause, as he depicts the fight for the other side. However, going back to the chapter, as Shigaraki is thinking to himself, he fires another bullet before anyone can notice and react to. And the quirk destroying bullet shoots right into Aizawa's leg. What did we say, guys? Not too long ago we mentioned Gran Torino would probably die and Aizawa or even Endeavor would get shot by the quirk destroying bullet. And with that, I don't want to say My Hero Academia is simply predictable, it's just that our balls the prediction quirk is way too strong.
Of course!
But seriously guys, all of this is just good story building by Horikoshi. These are fundamental steps that are usually considered when writing a brilliant plot. We mentioned the writing device known as the Chekhov's gun many times before in our reviews, where Chekhov's gun is a dramatic principle that states that every element in a story must be necessary and irrelevant elements should be removed. Elements should not appear to make false promises by never coming into play. In the case of My Hero Academia, there are many senses of foreshadowing which are set up a couple of chapters before. We knew the importance of Gran Torino's death or heavy injury towards Deku's development, along with the finalization of Endeavor's role as the #1 hero and Aizawa's significant part to play in Eri's development. Aizawa was also the only one to stop Shigaraki, but also being extremely vital in Eri's growth only meant that he had to be temporarily shut down for enough time so Shigaraki can win this battle, but not completely gone, where then later Aizawa can still influence the progression of Eri, who is the second protagonist to the series and the parallel to Shigaraki's character. But seriously though, with all that said, you better put some respect on Shigaraki's name. My man fired a bullet so quick with so much force that when it reached Aizawa's left leg, it twisted in a full 180 degrees, literally making his toes face towards his back. And from the looks of it, I think Shigaraki even started to smile knowing he actually managed to get that hit. This dude is a little savage, but you know who's a bigger savage than Shiggy?
No!
I'm talking about Aizawa, as my sensei instantly noticed that it was the quirk destroying bullet that hit him, and knowing what he had to do, he pulls out a knife from his utility belt, thanking Ryukyu for holding Shiggy back so he could react and deal with the quirk destroying bullet in a calm and rational way. Yeah, rational because what he's about to do, man, I promise you not many strong people can do this. Now ignoring everything around him along with the fact our boy Deku is also holding Shiggy back, literally getting his arm munched on, Aizawa thinks back to his moments with Eri and all of the time he spent watching over her. In some ways, his survival is an importance not just for the heroes and the fight against Shigaraki, but also for Eri. Yes, he needs to survive with his quirk for her sake, because remember guys, Aizawa's quirk is pretty much the only thing that can help Eri if she loses control. With that in mind, he then proceeds to cut off his own leg.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Stopping the bullet from destroying his quirk. Now it was not really clear if Aizawa successfully managed to do this in time, but Shiggy sees this and thinks once again that Eraserhead is pretty cool, even admitting that he admires him. But that still won't stop fate, giving us an indication that Shigaraki has another plan up his sleeve. He then suddenly unleashes a shockwave attack that sends Deku and Ryukyu back. Honestly, at this point, I don't know where Shigaraki is getting his strength from. You really telling me his ideals are fueling him?
Yes.
Guys, this dude has none of his quirks and is just using his enhanced body. Seriously, whatever Captain America type of shit that doctor gave him, I need some of that right now.
This shit good.
Now, after Deku loses his hold on Shigaraki, releasing the knockback by the shockwave, he attempts to use his black whip once again to subdue Shiggy. But like I said earlier, once you lose him, he's gone. In a matter of seconds, Shigaraki dashes right towards Aizawa sensei, speeding right past Endeavor's punch. And honestly, I know our #1 hero is burnt out, but they are doing Endeavor so dirty. That miss was ridiculous. But honestly though, with all the body enhancement Shigaraki has, it is understandable. Now as Shigaraki appears directly in front of Aizawa, he says, "Finally, this losing game is over," highlighting the fact that only reason the heroes were able to prolong their losing battle was because of Aizawa's Eraser quirk. As he goes in, Deku's black whip just barely manages to grab onto Shiggy's leg, but it's too late. Shigaraki grabs Aizawa's face, giving all of us the butterflies thinking there ain't no escape. But out of nowhere, Shigaraki is hit with ice. That's right, Todoroki comes in with the last minute save, screaming out for his sensei. This instantly gives Shiggy a flashback to the moment he used Ragdoll's quirk, and how there was one extra light following Deku and Bakugo, which also confirms our theory we did in our chapter 274 review. Now, if we follow the Chekhov's gun principle, it's possible that Endeavor might lose his quirk or get heavily injured or actually die. high, hence giving importance for Shoto to join this battle. Now after he iced out Shigaraki away from Aizawa, Deku doesn't waste any second to use this chance to pull himself towards Shigi using his black whip and then instantly uppercuts him in the gut with his arm covered with his black whip, causing a massive explosion like before. And a quick thing to point out is that Deku is actually still using his intellect and is not just reacting emotionally, because more than likely Deku wrapped his arm with his black whip for two reasons. One, to use as a brace to take away some of the impact from the force of 100% one for all, and the second being as a protection, as it's the same arm that he not only already used to do the Wyoming smash, but also the arm Shigi made a snack out of. Basically, Deku is big brain.
This is big brain time.
Deku then quickly grabs Aizawa and the other heroes, jumping out of the way of the falling ice, but the poor boy then screams out his sensei's name, but sadly Aizawa is already completely knocked out. It could be from the pressure of Shigaraki's hand nearly imploding his head, or the extreme loss of blood from cutting his own leg. Either way, Aizawa is out of the game. And with that, Shigi is fully back in, as after getting another smash directly to the face, he comes out of the smoke without a single scratch on it, meaning that Shigaraki's regeneration quirk has kicked in. Yes guys, the real fight is about to begin, because with Aizawa out cold, Shigaraki is back with all of his quirk, and the first thing he does is sarcastically ask the heroes, after you protect him, then what? Following up with saying, the only thing that awaits you is destruction. I'm telling you guys, this chapter is filled with nothing but savage moments, and honestly I don't see a way for the heroes to win here. If the number 1 ranked hero along with the others couldn't beat Shigaraki when he didn't have any of his quirks, how are they going to beat him now? Shigaraki is just way too strong for any of them. The only logical outcome is to escape, and Deku will have to unlock his float quirk to save everyone from decay. Make sure to watch our other videos where we explain how he will do that, but this chapter then jumps back to the students who are still occupying the town. Tsuyu, Ida and Uraraka are concerned on how they cannot contact Todoroki, which if you guys remember is because of Shigi disabling the communication in chapter 275. Uraraka suggests to the others that they should head towards Deku, but then the civilians suddenly receive a video message on their phone from the government with an official nervously demanding statement that all people need to evacuate the affected area. The government official then begins to list off towns' names and areas that have already been ransacked by an unknown force, which we know is caused by Gigantomachia, who left a huge trail of ruin in his wake. This is likely where the title of the chapter, The Enemy Footsteps, is sourced from. We then see Gigantomachia has presumably arrived at the town where Uraraka and the others are stationed right now, with the civilians mindlessly walking in the streets without knowing what's about to hit them. The chapter then ends. Uraraka also realizes that all the heroes assigned to that mission must have failed, so the responsibility ends up falling on them. More than likely, she and the others will have to stay behind in that area to slow down Gigantomachia. Everything has literally flipped 180 degrees to the League of Villains' favor. Even with Hawk's inside information, the heroes were not able to completely stop them. However, I'm sure our heroes will manage to escape and deal enough damage to the villains to allow a time skip to take place. Yes, I believe in the end Deku needs to give himself enough time to master all the other quirks, along with Aries training to complete. But the heroes have to be at a disadvantage during their strike back, otherwise it will feel like a one-sided fight. The disadvantage would mean a complete anarchy in the country of Japan. Other countries will not dare to intervene as the risk would outweigh the benefits. The country will effectively be ruled by Shigaraki and the League, along with All For One still pulling the strings. Once he's rescued from prison, the heroes will need to train in secrecy, and only then the final war will take place. I really do believe it will be an endgame type of ending. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you reckon there will be a time skip, or will Deku and the squad manage to get that W sooner than we think? Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to grab yourself a Deku merch from our store, smash that like button and subscribe. Till then, I'll catch you lot till next time.